Good evening, everyone. Here for the SG Daily race. It's going to be open 7-7 seed. On stream on the left we have P Train. On the right we have Sheffy. Looks like P Train's going with the vanilla sprite, and from what I hear, vanilla music. Whereas Sheffy don't recognize the sprite, but I heard that there's going to be some Symphony of the Night MSU there. And we're off. Sync start from both runners. The smart play. And 20 bucks so far, nothing special. Let's see if we get a quick map check. Sheffy taking the time to kill the guard to activate the tree pole, and is skipping the lumberjack check, going straight for the items in Lost Woods. Whereas P-Train is having some trouble with the bush crab, but 20 rupees. Very nice rewards there. So, gonna have money, and just a single rupee pull from the tree. Alright, a piece of heart, the mushroom location. Nothing special there, but this early on, all the help is appreciated. Find those 20 rupees there, that's gonna get an easy 100. And 5 bucks on lumberjack. And more money. I misheard a bomb from the walking fish. Huh. Well, we're about to see Blind's Hut. Oh, we are not seeing Blind's Hut. Okay, gambling on bombs there. Going to buy bombs. Got the money to do both. It makes sense. So we're gonna see Blind's Hut first from P-Train's side. And see back of Tavern from Sheffy. So far, not a lot happening in checks. Plenty of money, but... And a sword. Alright, so sword and Blind's Hut. And a glove and... Yep, sword and glove and Blind's Hut. That plus the blue mail that Sheffy's picked up. Not a bad set of starting items. And bombs and bolts, so if you went for the gamble, you would not be punished. But with this, we'll have full item knowledge. Stun item... Alright, kind of a sparse of Kakariko Village. But at least you come away with a glove and a sword. Is that an intentional bobblehead sprite? I did not know that existed. It's disturbing and a little hilarious, so. So we're probably not going to see much divergence from here. Okay, so it is intentional. Fair enough. I'm not the one that has to look at it every time I run a randomizer race, so if it makes you happy. Alright, Sheffy going straight for the back of escape. Quick peek into library. I did not see what was on the library ledge. Okay, bottle and library, so we're not seeing that. Map, small key, and a bow. Alright, that bow is much appreciated. $50 in the race game, so... yeah, it's not being punished leaving there, and only a piece of heart in the house. But getting our first map check, and it looks like Crystal Eastern and 2 pendants Light World. One of them was the green. I wasn't paying most attention there. I saw green and blue. But it looks like we're seeing South Shore before an Eastern dip. P-Train is going to pick up that bow. We might see some divergence here. Although it makes sense trying to wait for a fire rod or a lamp to show up. It's just a little bit faster. It really just depends on your preference. Well, Eastern Palace dark rooms are not that bad, and we're seeing from P-Train heading towards Eastern Palace. Nope, I was wrong. Going down, so buying bombs, perhaps? Yep, buying bombs. But if you're doing South Shore, and now if you're buying bombs, you're doing South Shore. Forgot, I guess Forgot didn't have flippers. Oh, going into Eastern Palace. I mean, South Shore is the... there's a reason everyone goes South Shore real early. It's... oh, there's a red cane. Oh, check... okay, quick. Okay, that makes more sense. So a nice early red cane. So you can do a couple nice glitches with that. Icebreaker is always nice. And with 2 pendants down, we're likely to see Ice Palace today. So we're getting slight divergence, but not much here. And if there isn't a fire source in... because, yeah, there's not a lot. So either a fire source or a flute seem like the most likely progression items from here. Got Half Magic and Ice Rod Cave. And Sheffy's going for escape. Because there's still... yeah, there's still a lot of items there. You've got both dungeon items. Which makes sense. It's... yes, you can clear Eastern. It's a gamble. You have to clear it anyways. A flute and Eastern. Flute and Eastern... doesn't do a lot yet, but that early mobility, it's very nice to have. Does give us a few checks on the mountain in logic. I do believe that was the last item in Eastern, so that was two $20, two red rupees and a flute in Eastern. Whereas Sheffy has picked up the mirror, so with that knowledge, you know, that's 2 more checks and true, yeah, it does make South Shore a lot quicker. So Hera is potentially open. We still don't have a fire source, so it could be fire locked. And a little bit of trouble in this dark room. Resetting. Yeah, if that first, yeah, there we go. And got it this time. Once it moves from its initial position, it's a lot harder to find it again. It usually finds you. But with that, Eastern is all but done already. There's not much to it. So it's just going to be a dungeon item on that boss, so we're going to be seeing new items from Sheffy's screen right now. And with that, mirror makes checking the front of the front item here a lot easier. Going back to the Dark Cross is a lot easier. You don't have to set up Death Warp, which wouldn't be too hard with 4 hearts, but still Blue Mail slows things down a bit. So first crystal at just shy of 11 minutes on P-Train's side. And a Fire Rod in Zelda's Cell. So that just puts all of Eastern Palace in logic. Opens up Hera completely. And actually, yeah, puts everything in Escape in logic too. Now let's see what Sage's Closet has for us. Bombs, hook shot. Okay, this is a suspiciously generous start to a seed. I don't trust it. But with those items, there is no way P-Train does not activate that flute and go up the mountain. Which is a little unfortunate, because he'll be leaving behind the mirror and... yeah, mirror and Fire Rod. Fire Rod's not going to hurt too much there, but the mirror most definitely will. Yeah. And it's unlikely that those items are going to be stuck there long. It's a high density check in Sphere 1. And we're seeing Sheffy head to Eastern Palace, which is... yeah, it's the best play left. It's that or go to... I can never pronounce that cave right, so I just call it Desert Cave. And, yep, going up the mountain. Gonna rescue our good friend Gary. It's gonna be a whole... I mean, this kind of has to be progression here. It's not ideal going up the mountain multiple times, but if this early on you're getting a flute hook shot, the entire seat is screaming at you to go up the mountain. There's something there for you. And got some magic powder. A nice safety plus feature item check. Interesting. Immediately leaving, checking deserts. I'm a little surprised by this. I mean, you can get right back to the mountain just as quickly. The Swatchy sprite. Not sure what it's from. It reminds me of the Final Fantasy I Black Mage outfit, but I think that's just a color pattern on the blue mail. Oh, it's a sword from Agina. So we have Master Sword, and unfortunately, we're still 2 items from non-Aga Light World. So this could be an Aga Seed. So it's 1 item versus 2 you need to skip Aga. P-Train is going to do South Shore, pick those checks up, be rewarded with the Red Cane, and Half Magic from... Don't think there was anything else of import there, so they're after that. Looks like they're hard avoiding mountain checks. Oh, that's where the mirror was. I thought the mirror wasn't... Okay, saving and quitting, leaving that half magic behind. While not necessary, it is a very nice item to have. And now we're seeing mountain play. And skipping Spectacle Rock and going straight to the hook to East Death Mountain. And Sheffy's about to wrap up Armos Knights. And tying up the crystal count at 1623. Getting some checks in the Paradox Cave here. Full heart, $50. Sheffy's going to get the hook shot from the Sage's Closet. Probably head up the mountain themselves, but not have that Master Sword. And a whole lot of nothing in Paradox. And yep, Sheffy is going to activate that flute. We'll see whether Sheffy follows P-Train up the mountain or not. And about the time the flute's activated for Sheffy, we'll see what's in Spiral Cave. For question chat, I'm not sure what was on Floating Island. I saw it and immediately disregarded it, which is, that's my just random instinct. It's just like, if it's not something I need that's necessary, I don't bother remembering it. Which is bad for comment. Okay, piece of heart piece. All right, P-Train is not touching Hera yet, but Hera has to have progression, because that is the only place we haven't seen. We have seen everything else. Sheffy is picking up those 2 checks that skipped earlier. Saw the bottle on in the library. Gonna find $50 in this race game. P-Train's gonna be rewarded with that fire rod. Yeah. And this is also the more item dense location. It's something like 4 items to 2. Might find a book down there, save you an extra trip up there. Or an invincibility item. Actually, no, that one help. You still need Moon Pearl to do that. You had the items to do Spike Cave, you'd have Dark World access. Yeah, Sheffy's rescuing Gary. Gonna be doing checks up the mountain. But barring a dip in the Hera's not gonna be happy with what they find. So this is, at this point, unless it's Moon Pearl plus glove/hammer in Hera, which is, it'd be a stacked pendant Hera, but barring that, we're seeing an Agassi today. And Sheffy is also skipping the Spectacle Rock checks, going straight to East Death Mountain. Going for that density first, hoping that it's over here, and then if not, when you make the climb to Hera, you just pick up those 2 on the way. But even with an Agassi, you have Fire Rod. Fire Rod makes Aga's Tower a lot quicker. It single hit kills the red guards in there. So if you have either Tempered Sword or Fire Rod, it makes Aga 1 a lot quicker. It's still not the preferred way to get Dark World, but it's not the end of the world. So my money's on Lamp and Hera. Ooh, I completely spaced on Zora. And you're right. Lamp could be on Zora. Zora is in logic. With the glove, Zora is in logic. But without boots, no one wants to fake flips because it takes a long time for fake flips. And getting the Zora the normal way, the way the game intends you to, is even worse. So it's hard to say. I think we'll see Zora last. Yeah, and that's the thing with Flute, getting to the fluting to point 8 to do that fake flipper, it's really quick. Because at that point, we're seeing from P-Train going up to Tower of Hera, so we'll see if progression is here, or if we're finding Lamp/Moon Pearl on the Scamfish today. And got a dip into what inside. Did not see what was inside Spectacle Rock, but since P-Train is leaving it behind, it was nothing. P-Train is not lighting, it's the bobblehead sprite. Alright, so it was a heart piece inside Spectacle Rock. Alright, dungeon item on the first. Let's see if this is a fire-locked pendant dungeon. It's not, so we're probably just going to see Herapot go up to the top. And Sheffy is right behind him. Yeah, and I do believe, I think Swamp House is one of the red crystals. I didn't see the other. Swamp and Feepstown. Ah, thank you. That makes a very likely Pyramid Fairy, because both those dungeons are... Yeah, they're really close to being... Yeah, one of them is clearable right now, and the other one really just need flippers. I mean, and hammer. I know a couple places are allowing for spec eclipse, but I don't know if they're allowing it in speed gaming right now. Don't know one way or the other. I'm going to assume that it's, until I see a posting that it's allowed, that's still not allowed in this. All right, getting some confirmation it's not allowed. So it's 2 items to get access to Pyramid Fairy, which is not. And Moon Pearl on Trolldor. No Moon Pearl on Pyramid. And Titan's Mitts. Where did P-Train pick up Titan's Mitts? Must have... Okay, it was just a delay in the track. Okay. So at this point, going straight to... I like this checking out the mire area. It's 2 quick checks. Although at this point, Feepstown and Skull Woods is both for clearable crystals, so... Alright, not a lot in the mire shed. And did we see the mire? I missed the mire medallion if it was checked. And we have sword mode, Quake for mire. Alright, so until you see flippers, mire is out of logic. Meaning there's no ped seed until we see flippers. And now we're seeing... Probably going to see Skullwoods first, followed by Feepstown. With Tempered Sword and Blue Mail. Well, Blue Mail doesn't help too much against the Moth because the enemy in that room was the spikes. And those spikes, they deal fixed damage, so it's more about your heart count than anything else. But that Tempered Sword makes it a very quick fight. Whereas from Sheffy, we're seeing some Dark Death Mountain checks. Got ourselves a swag net. Sheffy's probably looking for a sword. Probably would like something a little beefier to handle it in the map check, seeing that last medallion. Or that last pendant. So, Hookshot Cave, get your pendant knowledge for your go mode count. Money. Heart. P-Train going into the back of Skull Woods. And nothing on Dark Death Mountain. But we should see a quick check of the medallion here, see if it's Quake. Oh, it's reverse vanilla. So it's... Yeah. Mire has Quake's vanilla... Mire has Turtlerock's vanilla Quake. And Turtlerock has Mire's vanilla Ether. Yeah, let's P-Train dipping into the fight with the Moth. Having to be a little careful here. Sheffy's going to the mire area will be rewarded with at least one of those swords, but with mirrors likely to see both of those, so that sword advantage isn't going to last much longer. But P-Train picking up second crystal at 29, let's say 29.15. Going back in for some items, which makes a ton of sense. To Skullwoods, Pod, or Thieves Town, or one of those is almost guaranteed to have your mid-game progression. They're just the easiest dungeons to get into mid-game. Just a small key, so having to go back to the front for the remainder items. Where Sheffy's going to find their Master Sword. And hopefully they don't flute away and go check out Agina's cave. Alright, and they are checking Agina's cave, and they will be rewarded for thoroughness here. So both racers have sword mode, which is, it's always nice to have. Speed, the real advantage is not even on the Ganon fight, but it's all the steps to the Ganon fight. You defeat every boss that much faster. And it looks like we're seeing some North Dark World from P-Train before going into the Village of Outcasts. But Sheffy is most likely heading the same way. Yep, Sheffy is heading to the Dark World portal in the village. And we're gonna see what's in the graveyard ledge. Possibly, do you go as far as Catfish? I don't think you do, but it's hard to say. I don't know how P-Train usually routes. And not rewarded for it, which... And it looks like with the flute out, they're going right back to the village. Just following that. Sheffy as well going straight to the boss, which makes perfect sense. Not going to find anything of import in Skullwoods, unfortunately. But it's another crystal. You gotta do it. So, Arrow of Destiny and Pizza Heart in the chess game. Brewer's Hut. We probably see that right about the time Sheffy's dropping in on the mall. Alright, $20 in the Brewer's Hut. And yeah, just getting the... Probably just hoping for a hammer outside of Thieves Town. Because it's still possible for... Ooh, a bee in a bottle. A free bee. And the Moth is down for Sheffy. 33-17. Yeah. Well, the worst case... Ooh, and our final sword on Sick Kid. Well, if you find a hammer out here and there's an item in the big chest... Yeah, because going back for that final, if there's something you left behind in big chest... I mean, no one wants to go back for it. It's a long way for one check. I've seen some people only dip the front four. I personally don't, but I can see why people do. considering almost every time I rarely ever see Thieves Town not have it be 50-50 or something in the big chest towards the end. Yep, so this is... we see that mirror active too. P-Train has that mirror out, so that is... I mean, it's an understandable concern. There's a lot more checks you can do. And, yep, leaving behind Thieves Town. Because there's 2 items in the back. And... yep. Yeah, in this scenario, I think it's a 50-50 chance there's something in that chest. There's, what, 4 checks back? There's 4 items in the back. There's the cricket floor at the bottom of the hole, cell, big chest, and there's blind. 2 items in front, 2 items in the back, so 50-50. Sheffy checking bumper ledge. Yep, we can go into checkouts. See what's on Lumberjack now. Going to find out it's nothing of import. And P-Train has all the ingredients to do a smith chain. So yeah, why not? You have you have a mirror and you have Titan's mitts. So this is not no awkward save and quits. And when you're done, you can mirror wherever, you can flute wherever you want to go. And can also check out the, yeah, Magic Bat is in Logic. It's a little awkward. Oh, Sheffy is also doing those North Dark World checks. So that's going... Alright, yep, so P-Train picked up purple chest, doing Magic Batter, and then gonna flute over to 7, most likely. And Sheffy also looks like they're stopping at Graveyard Ledge. Doesn't make much sense to go over to Catfish with what you have here. I mean, you could do a Zora Catfish check, but you'd be doing so without flippers and just scouting Zora Ledge and leaving behind the Waterfall Ferry. So instead, Sheffy's going towards Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town area. P-Train's turning in purple chest. For an Ether Medallion. So that is a hard required item. That is our Turtle Rock access. And it looks like P-Train's going right back to the village, probably just going to go into Thieves Town and hope for the best, hope that there's nothing special in the big chest. Nope. P-Train's probably has to be picking up Cave 45 and Hype Cave. We have yet to see Hype Cave. Hype Cave is a good density play. So we're going to see Cave 45, Sick Kid, and Hype Cave. Sheffy's going to pick up Butter Sword. Full heart at this point. Yeah, 8 hearts blue mail is kind of at the point where you don't need too many more hearts. But a full heart like that is right there. Yeah, only arrows. So we'll see if there's any divergence here, if Sheffy goes to the back or not. And at this point, Hype Cave or... Actually, yeah, Hype Cave and the back of Thieves are about all that's left in Logic. Because East Dark World without Hammer or Flippers is completely out. I mean, you can get to it, but it's out of Logic. So we're seeing here, do we believe in Hype? Fetch quest item. Oh, there is still Zora. I keep forgetting about Zora. I mean, if it is Zora, that mushroom's taken P-Train a lot closer to Zora. But Sheffy is going straight to the back of Thieves Town, so we're seeing a bit of divergence here. Sheffy will be able to clear this dungeon. There's a potential item left behind in the big chest, but... Oh, and silver arrows on that mushroom. I mean, again, not needed, but speeds up a couple bosses. That's 40 seconds off Ganon, so not going to complain about it. And P-Train's going to pick up their half magic from Ice Rod Cave. Might use this chance to see a Zora dip. Because at this point, they're hard committing to overworld checks. Possibly. Although without Hammer, you can't clear ice. So it's a gamble play. I mean, ice does like to be rude and hide very nice things in it, but... Because even Icebreaker doesn't really make Yeah, Icebreaker doesn't make that much better. Because it's still possible for you to... Yeah, with the either Potion Glitch or the Mimic Delete, pod is just easier to break open out of Logic. And all you really have to do to get there is, what's that, Kern Jump. Or I think there's also Splash Sleets you can do over by the Bomb Shop. Alright, and we've seen Mimic Clip. Okay. I thought it was Mimic Deletion, but I know it gets forced into the wall and does a Simpsons reference and goes because its plant needs it. And Zora has vanilla flippers. That's just mean. That's just mean. Alright, and blind is down for Sheffy. So P-Train is going to be doing Dark Death Mountain checks. Not going to be very happy. Well, it's going to be a real quick swamp because Spec Eclipse is not allowed in this race quite yet. So, it's just going to be, what, 1, 2, not many items. Yeah. So there's Hobo, and there's Ice Palace. Ice Palace is now open. You can go in there, you just can't clear the dungeon. You can't get to the boss or one of the checks on the icebreaker side. So yeah, a quick trip up here, check Dark Death Mountain checks. It's a good hope for an out, but it's not going to give P-Train an out today. We've already seen from Cheffy that there's nothing of importance there. True. You can do Hobo with either Pod or Ice Palace. I mean, it is a little quicker with Pod, but and I'm thinking because of the flippers being the next progression, I think it's going to be something in Ice Palace. And unfortunately, that flipper also makes Mire open. Because Quake is on the Lake Island. And that's the access medallion for Mire, which is Pendant Dungeon. And come to think of it, Ped is open. We don't know what's on Ped, but Ped is now firmly in Logic. Well, not in Logic. We still need Lamp for it to be in Logic, but it's all the more threatening now than it was before. Cheffy's going to see Hype Cave and, like many of us, be disappointed by the hype. P-Train is going in back into Thieves Town, going to clear it. It does, yes. Flipper opens the opens the second chest in. Because yeah, first chest of Swamp and non-key sanity is always a small key, but the second chest, which is not locked by anything other than a bomb, can't have whatever. So it's a very quick dip in. And yes, Boots could lock out Desert Palace. Cheffy's going to pick up their silvers here. And yeah, they've got all the money in the world. Get a blue goo. I kind of like the idea of Vanilla Hammer, actually. Because right now, Pod is probably the densest location to go to. It's a long walk to there. But so we'll probably also see... we'll probably see Catfish and Pyramid Fairy on that walk to there. And Cheffy is going in the right direction, going to be picking up their flippers in a minute. And I forgot whether there was an item left behind in Thieves Town. I don't believe there was. It's a little unlikely because... Alright, let's see what Cheffy does with those flippers. P-Train's about to kill Blind. And looks like going straight towards Hobo, most likely. All right, 49 minutes and small bit of change. P-Train has their third crystal, tying up the crystal count once more. P-Train did see Quake. P-Train did dip down there, like before going into Eastern Palace. Bought bombs in that shop, and yep, another arrow of destiny. So now is a big choice time for P. Okay, Sheffy. Sheffy has not done Smith Chain, so it's likely to be doing Smith Chain here, which will reward with the required. Oh, change your mind? Change your mind. P-Train. Walking Dark World. Going to... Okay, yeah, that's right. That's going for that medallion. Because this puts potential 2 items to be had inside Meyer. All the choices left are not desirable ones. But looks like P-Train's heading towards Pod. With this Dark World access plus the mirror, makes going from Hobo to Pod very quick. We might see Pyramid Ledge, but I think Pod is a little more likely with bows. So at this point, you're looking for Ice Rod, Hammer, and I do believe that's it. So most likely going to see Hammer soon, but actually it doesn't really matter which one you get, because Hammer, while Ice Rod Hunt is still the worst, Hammer doesn't lock you out of dungeons, it prevents you from clearing them. Yeah, it's technically a lamp, but it also locks Pod here as well. But the only room in Turtle Rock you need the lamp for is you're on rails on the Samaria block. So it's one of the easier dark rooms to learn because it's just timed inputs. All the enemies in there are spinning fire bars, so there's no real RNG to deal with. And seeing more divergence, we're seeing Inside the Desert from Chevy, and Pod from P-Train. And Desert Palace is hard locked by the boots, which is a sigh of relief for anyone trying to avoid a ped seed. Although it is still very much possible for Hammer to be on ped. Extremely unlikely, but it is possible. So only one item in Desert Palace will... Oh, both items in Desert Palace are locked behind boots, so there's 2 items remaining. So Sheffy is heading, looks like towards probably Ice Pal. Nope. Yep, change their mind. Yeah, this is going to 3. If you're going to 3, you're most likely trying to go to pod. And this room is in logic because of the lamps, the torches. But after this, the Hellway is the last place that's in logic. So it looks like nothing of import in pod either. So the 3 Dark World dungeons that one of them usually has a progression looks like they've run dry. But we're going to see... Yeah, what do we care about logic? You're here, get those last 3 checks. See a nice hammer yump. And Sheffy is taking the North Dark World. Gonna stop by Catfish here. Ice Rod in the Dark Maze. So that is a hammer hunt. I mean, you always kind of want boots. At this point, it's very unlikely anyone's that worried about Ped. Because a lot has to go wrong for this to be a Ped seed. So we might see Meyer from P-Train here, because this stop, yep, going to 6, going to Meyer area. Because again, even if it is a Ped seed, having boots, yeah, going faster, the longer you have the boots, the more they pay off for you. Plus, if you do an entire seed without the boots, you start forgetting once you get them, it's hard to remember the dash. Because you spent the entire seed just walking around at a slow pace. But to be fair, Meyer is still requires a logical lamp, so until we see lamp, Ped is firmly a no-go. Well, boots can't be on Ped because Desert Palace is boots locked. Yeah. Alright, Sheffy's heading to pod, gonna be disappointed by what they find there. Well, mildly disappointed, getting your Ice Rod. Hammer Go mode is still better than an Ice Rod hunt. Because then you can firmly just say, okay, nothing else matters. I have... Actually, Sheffy does not have a bottle, but... Half magic, half magic, butter sword, silvers. A bottle is kind of a luxury, not a necessity. Having the P-Trains having to use... Oh, that's right. That's okay. So it's just an error on the tracker. All right. Well, we'll see. Next time Sheffy does a menu of any kind, we'll be able to confirm one. But yeah, I assume he has to. Sheffy has to have a bottle because the last sword was on Sick Kid. Because at one point, yeah, Sheffy was doing the Smith chain checks. So P-Train is... I'm not certain what P-Train's doing right here, because P-Train has already cleared Eastern Palace. Did P-Train find a hammer? Because I could have sworn P-Train... Yep, P-Train has go mode. P-Train has go mode. Okay. So, 59-ish minute mark. P-Train is in go mode, so Sheffy needs to get over to Meyer quick as possible. But I'm going to full clear this here. So going to be able to go mode. Well, go moding Swamp is the Swamp and Ice Palace. Those are the two money make. Being able to just go through those without checking things is very nice. Turtle Rock, you do save a solid, depending on where the big key is, you save a solid chunk of time go moding it too, but it's less noticeable than Swamp and Ice Palace. But yeah, 3 dungeons go mode. That's always nice. So now you kind of are hoping to find boots in your path, but yeah, it's not going to be a huge time save to get the boots, but it still is that potential 1 out of 22 is a boots lock GT big. So it's actually not complete go mode yet. Yeah. Well, and the potential boots mode big key is very rare. Because it's... 2 things have to happen. Not only does the 1 out of 22 have to land on that particular chest, also the boots have to be in an out-of-way location. So those 2 things lining up is not very likely. Because it's something like a 5-6% chance of the GT big key being in any one particular chest. Yeah, and I've had similar experience with Big Key on Torch. For me, it was on Ice Trinex and the vanilla Big Key room. But at that point, you've done everything else. 22 checks in the basement of GT, so it's 21 other options down there. Yeah, you just clear out the basement and hope it's there. And P-Train starting with Swamp Palace is going to be blink and you miss it. Because without having to do anything more than open the first chest for that small key, you could skip everything else. P-Train did not finish Meyer, but Meyer is a pendant. Got the hammer in chest number 2 there, the spike room chest. And that was go mode. Sheffy is still missing that hammer for go mode, and I did not see whoever Sheffy picked up that ice rod, but if Sheffy did not pick up that ice rod, doesn't really matter. The ice rod is in the pod dark maze, but looks like nope, Sheffy is picking up that medallion. Picking up that medallion, meaning most likely going to Meyer, and is going to be rewarded with that hammer. Oh, nope. Going, I spoke too soon, is going to Meyer. Or sorry, going to Ice Palace. which is unfortunate because that just kind of cements the time difference. Because it's tempting to dip inside Ice Palace because Ice Palace has a tendency to be really mean and have stuff. Having your Red Cane locked behind Icebreaker, having a hammer locked in it, this stuff happens all the time. But when it's not there, you've spent an awful lot of time, and unless there's a small key in either this, the Pengator room, or in the Icebreaker room, the vanilla big key chest, then you have to mirror out and do the Ice Palace bomb jump to get the every chest. Or wait, actually no, there's one more chest. There's one more chest in there that can have a small key. So you have 3 outs for a small key. But that's still not ideal. I think it's hard. I'm not sure one way or other, but I think overall Swamp is the fastest go mode dungeon. And it's going to be real quick here with Butter Sword and Silver. Yeah, that happens all the time, especially if you click too many times and it just, oh, a text tracker. Crystal number 5 for P-Train at 1 hour and 6. Gonna be heading to Ice Palace next. And yep, looks like that scenario happened to Sheffy, having to do the Ice Palace bomb jump. Unfortunately, not going to be rewarded for this. And P-Train's going to be able to skip all these checks in there and just pick up the small key after the Icebreaker. And go straight to the boss. Doesn't need to open a single chest. Might still open the... Alright, so Sheffy did get to do the Dark Maze. So Sheffy is firmly on a hammer hunt for go mode. Going to flip the switch. I know I hear arguments for and against flipping the switch. I personally just always flip the switch, but apparently if you're full clearing the dungeon, it's better to not flip it. Should probably time it out someday. Alright, that's the one key P-Train needs to clear this dungeon. And yeah, pick up items in your way. You might find Cape. You might find another bottle. Or you might find Boots. If anything, Boots would be the one to get. And, oh, just missed the perfect hook shot. And Sheffy is now going into Mire. We'll find their hammer in the next couple of minutes. Be in go mode themselves. And it looks like Sheffy is going to enter Meyer about the time P-Train hits this boss fight. And blink and you miss it. Cold Stare is down. P-Train's going to be going up the mountain to Turtle Rock. This entry room in Meyer is just awful without boots. Not awful. Awful is probably the wrong word. It's tedious. Let's save quit to the mountain. And Sheffy going right towards the chest that has the hammer. And sweet release. And just confirmed, Sheffy does have Ether Medallion, so Sheffy is in go mode at 1 hour and 10. Ice Rod was in... Sheffy does have Ice Rod. Ice Rod was in the Dark Maze in the back of Pod. Alright, Sheffy's getting some safeties here, topping off before going go mode. Alright, looks like... Yep, going to Pod. Took a minute to decide. And this is something I see with the medallions for these two dungeons. I see them, their vanilla options reversed all the time, like today. An Ether for Turtle Rock and a Quake for Meyer. Yeah, I do keep saying go mode. It technically isn't, but at this point, it's a 1 out of 22 that's a boots lock GT big. Because honestly, the harder dungeon to do dark rooms for amongst these crystals would have been Pod. Because there's really only one dark room in all of Turtle Rock, and it's on rails. You just turn at the right intervals, and you're through it no problem. There's no... The only enemy encounters are the fire spin bars. Honestly, the lamp could be a lot of places. Could be anywhere in Ice Palace. Actually, you know, we saw most of Ice Palace, so that's unlikely. So it could be in the Hammerlock chest on Icebreaker side of Ice Palace. Could be in Meyer. It's probably here in Turtle Rock. Because we've seen 2 out of 3 of the fetch quests. So Shovel still exists. Hammer Pegs, Hammer Pegs is one of those options. Can't be Desert, because that's both boots locked. Because, yeah, Lamp can be in a lot of evil places that make no sense. Oh, yeah, and Swamp, because we're not going to see much of Swamp from either player. So, Swamp and TR are the 2 densest locations for it, and it's most likely going to be Swamp. Because a lot of Turtle Rock's chests are on the laser bridge. And given key logic, it can't just have all of its items front-loaded. But thanks to that big key location, able to steal this key from the lava chest, and ooh, got the good spin kill here, plus invincibility on the tiles. I have seen a Mimic Cave powder for Lamp in a pendant Turtle Rock before. lamp location can be evil. There's a reason everyone takes time to learn some dark rooms, if as many as you possibly can, because if you're relying on lamp will disappoint you. It will be in the most awful place. And that's the one downside to not having boots in this dungeon. More often than not, you have boots at this point in the game, so you're used to bonking open that wall. But yeah, this here is the one dark room. Once you have the block paste, yeah, it's... You're on rails. Left, up, right. Wait till you're level with the fire... Oh, went off the track. Went off the track, but looks like got back to the start. Down, and once you get to here, left, and one more left, and then go off to controls, and you're at the door. Sheffy has cleared out Pod and is clearing out Ice Palace, going for Swamp Blast. And P-Train's about to get to Trinex. With this equipment, it's going to be a very quick fight. Oh, you can do bootless layers. That sounds like something worth learning. I did not know you could do a bootless laser skip. And blink and you miss it. Stage 1 Trinex is down. Set up for that spin, the double hit, going for a clean. And that was a clean Trinex, and with that, give it a few seconds, and we're going to have our 7th and final crystal. Alright, get your numbers in chat, 1 to 22 for that GT Big Key. And it is possible, very possible, for it to be on Bob's Torch. All right, 7, 14, 6, 2, 7. Let me enter my in there. I always go for 6. All right, Chef B's just about to enter the Cold Stare fight. Right about the time P-Train gets to GT. All right, we've got at least one. We've got 2 people going for that torch, and yeah, you know P-Train's going to check it first. All right, and bets are closed. Oh, go in Hope Room first. All right, Sheffy just picked up their 5th crystal. Oh yeah, you still go through the basement because this is the most item-dense location in the game. And it is not on Bob's Torch. This is not a boots-required seed. It's number 3. I have no idea how to set up the bets for channel points. So that's number 5. GT Big Key at number 5. Just picking up these 2 chests, hoping for boots or cake, most likely. So With this gear, it's going to be a nice smooth gauntlet for P-Train. 13 hearts, red mail, butter sword, silver arrows, and half magic. All the good little toys. Not having boots makes some of these rooms a little more obnoxious, but still obnoxious, not impossible to deal with. So more of this particular room, this bridge. If you're so used to dashing through it and never bothered to learn to space out your movements there, doing it without boots can really annoy you, but Sheffy is picking up items in not Go-moding Swamp Palace, which I do not know why Sheffy picked up that chest. Hoping for boots, maybe? Because Sheffy's probably feeling behind right now. Because full dipped both Ice Palace and Pod before going to Mire. The Ice Palace dip is probably what felt the worst. Alright, managed to recover that second landmole head on Lammo 2. Now the back half of the climb. Yeah, hoping for something, hoping for that out of nowhere miracle. Because it's unlikely, but it's still very possible. Fortunately today, we know that's not the case. We know there's no need for boots. With half magic, this room is just that little bit quicker because you don't need to conserve magic at all. Just go through with your fire rod. You get magic refills in here all over the place. So once you clear that room, there's a magic refill here. Go for this room, and there's yet another full magic pot before Troll Dorm 2. Alright, fluff it. A little bit of unnecessary items there, but heck, if that's... Oh, not much at this point. The boots aren't going to help you that much at this point in the race. Does make the Hellway a little easier. And a Validation Fire Shield. But right through that room, no problem. Managed to dodge all the Helmosaurs. And Sheffy's just taken down Argus for their 6th crystal, going up the mountain. And 2 hits on the first round of... I am bad with boss names today. So that's a 2 and a 3. 2, 3, 1. Time to kill a pig. Alright, so it's going to be 6, 6, 4, and then 4 silver arrows in the final stage. So it's going to be an easy 1-on-1 here. The only real variable to this is how many times he teleports on you. Already in stage 3. Two more hits. Alright, we're on stage 4 now. Alright, get your GGs ready. And P-Train has finished first in the race room with a time of 1:25.10. Yeah, sub 90 with that hammer placement. I mean, and to think it could be even faster, but you'd have to assume the worst of the seed. Yep, no boots. But it was a very generous start. You had a pretty early flute, hook shot, red cane. Yeah. Hammer and Titan's Mitts are probably the best go mode items because they prevent you from doing a lot of things. Titan's Mitts is the best go mode item because it locks you out of 3 of the dungeons. And a lot of overworld. And we have P-Train in the chat here. GG's.
GG's.
How'd you like that hammer placement?
Honestly, the hammer wasn't that. The hammer was kind of obvious to me. It was the flippers that made me so mad. Once I got flippers like on Zora, because like Zora I kind of put off Ice Rod Cave because I didn't want to do Ice Rod Cave until I had the pearl, so I could do Waterfall Cave with Zora. So that was really late. I got flippers. I was like, I'm 90% sure. My knee-jerk reaction was just going to be Pod. But I was like, man, that Quake probably means something now. So hammer wasn't that bad. It was the flippers that I was really perturbed about.
Yeah, no one ever really expects a vanilla flippers.
Yeah, I mean, randomizer, you don't really expect vanilla anything.
Well, it's also going there the game intended way without flippers or fake, because no one had boots so far. Like, we have yet to see boots on the restream. So fake flipping is just such a slow way to get there, so I see why no one really went towards it. It's such a large amount of time to do a couple out of logic checks. But yeah, today
they gave you all the money, so at least you had that. Which is one of the reasons why I felt so bad about it, but what are you gonna do? You can't win them all.
Yeah, and you're right. Not having the Moon Pearl at that point, you'd be leaving behind 2 checks, which today that was... Oh, wait, no, I'm getting Seed Bleed. I'm confusing a different race with this one. Sorry, I've been watching too many seeds today. I thought a bow was there, and like, no, that wasn't where the bow was.
No, bow was free. I can't remember where it was, but I don't remember struggling to find it.
The bow was, I think it was in Blind's Hut, and the silvers were on the potion shop off the shroom.
Yeah. No, because I remember doing Eastern before. I did Eastern before South Shore, so.
Yep, and had that early knowledge of Quake Medallion because 2 bombs just topping off your bomb count because you had all the money anyways, so why not? And got your knowledge of the lake, so you knew early on where that quake was.
Yeah. I mean, for the most part, like, outside of the flippers, everything just kind of made sense. You know, I felt like I was just making logical plays. Like, you get the bow, you go do Eastern, you clean up, well, I don't know, after Eastern you get the hook shot, so of course, you know, you're kind of eyeing the mountain. I think either before or on the, oh yeah, in Mini Moldorm Cave you get the mirror, so again, you know, mountain just kind of makes sense there. Moon Pearl was slightly awkward depending on like your, well, I don't know, not even, because you didn't need fire to do Hera. So realistically, like, you could have gotten Moon Pearl without the fire rod and escape. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt like I was just kind of following the seed. I didn't really feel like I did anything like super out of the way. Probably the most bold play I felt like I did the entire seed was on my way to Pod. I just decided to go the south route and rushed Quake and Pod, as opposed to what I would consider the more reasonable route, which is probably going north, cleaning up Catfish and Pyramid on the way to that stuff. But then Quake is kind of out of the way, so I didn't like that. The moment I got flippers, I was like, it's probably Quake.
Well, at this point, you also knew that Mire was Quake locked, so it was just setting up your next move in case Pod came up dry.
Yeah.
And the seed did give you all that good mobility early, plus early swords, because barely any time in, you had Tempered Sword. Like, the second you had Dark World access, you picked up Tempered Sword, and not long after, you picked up the Gold Sword, and yeah, you're at max damage. So at this point, you've got good mobility, all the items for time-saving glitches, and just a few items.
Pretty much. I don't think I was actually. It wasn't until I was in Mire, I think, that I realized I was actually hammer for go mode. Just because I don't know, like, once I get like both the hammer and mitts, that's when I start doing my calculations as to like how close I am to go mode. So yeah, like when I was in Mire, I was like, oh shoot, I'm just a hammer from go mode, and then I almost ditched the spike chest due to health concerns. I was like, do I really want to burn my blue potion on this? And I was like, well, yeah. I'm like, if this is hammer and I leave it, I'm gonna feel real bad about that. And lo and behold, it was hammer.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw I saw the pause there where yep, you're double checking, making sure that's your go mode before you just dope out and start clearing everything. Because
yeah, it would have worked out too, because I had like the perfect amount of health to get the hammer, and then I would have had a half heart left to go outside and save the portal. But I just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah.
But no, I was very happy to have the Quake knowledge. I was very happy to, well, not only have the Quake knowledge, but to know where Quake was. Like, I don't know, in my mind, I'm trying to think, like, what could have been, like, your worst possible go mode? And I'm thinking maybe Ice Rod for go mode would have been pretty brutal, like, if you just rushed the Quake instead of going to Pod. Because with the big key, no, you were forced into the Bowlock side of Pod. Also, Big Key is on the Bowlock side of Pod, so I don't think it would be too crazy just to take the God Pod and then just assume your Ice Rod's going to be in TR. Also, I still had Swamp and Ice left, so, you know, if I have Ice Rod for go mode, I'm not 100% sure that I'm sticking around to clear the back of Pod. I don't think there's a reality in which you have Ether go mode, because I don't think you get to the Quake without first getting Ether. I can't see you making your way to Hylia Island without delivering Purple Chest. But
yeah, with Titan's Mitts and Mirror doing the Smith Chain, getting your Ether, it makes perfect sense. And yeah, although I think honestly the Ice Rod was the least. It was more the flippers and the hammer were the two locations, because with flippers, that's 4 places you can go. Only one of them's correct. And today it turned out to be Meyer. So the early logic hints that were thrown at you off the lake was the correct path.
Yeah. But yeah, all in all, it was a fun seed. I kind of wish I could have had boots, just because I like playing with boots. But other than that, I mean, it was kind of annoying because I haven't raced in a long time. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna do a nice little cozy 7-7 seed. Here I am. I mean, I don't know. It felt like way longer than it was. Like when I got the hammer, my thought was finally. But also, like, that was go mode, and that was like the 59-minute mark, so you can't be too upset. But just the way everything played out, it just felt like it took forever. Just like walking across the map, like specifically going back for Quake. Like, I felt like I had messed up bad whenever basically entering the Dark World without flippers. Like, walking all the way back to East Dark World just felt awful. But I don't know. Apparently, it could have been worse. I think I beat second place by like 7 minutes. So
yeah, 7 minutes.
There were worse routes.
Yeah. So yeah, we've seen two finishes since then. We've seen is that Shire, or I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it right. 132.13, and Hitman took third with 133.56, and no one else has finished since then. Sheffy's in GT right now, about to hit the Lambo 2 room.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I do have to go. It's getting a bit late here, so I gotta get ready for bed. But no, thank you so much for commentating. Appreciate you commentating, especially by yourself. Not always easy to hold it down on your own. But yeah, GG's to Sheffy, and hope he finishes out the seed. And I will catch you later. Thank you very much for the restream.
GG's. Thanks for participating in the interview. All right, and Sheffy's near the end of the gauntlet. Probably rough estimate of 4 minutes out. Let me check the race room, see if any more people finished. Oh, so far we still have 5 people in progress. And we did not see Boots at all this seed. I wasn't checking the I don't think there was anything in the credits that would have told us where Boots was. The only thing on there that would have been new knowledge for us would have been Head. But, or actually, does Green Pendant might get something on the credits. Oh, got clipped in by that. The Sheffy's right at the point where it's 3 quick bosses. Boldorm 2, Aga 2. Yeah, Boldorm 2 is nice and quick. Head was arrows, okay. Got that validation chest, which makes me so happy. We validate our parking. Having a little more trouble with the Hellway, living up to its name. Those Helmosaurs just love to knock you off the right path, and then you're stuck either on dealing with the movement pads or the ice physics, which both are their own flavor of gross. Alright, starting off this, got a 2. Double. Wasn't able to get that triple, but here looks like an easy double. Unfortunately, Aga gave off a blue ball, but there was no way. Ooh, that's got knocked out of position there, but here's a nice setup. Alright, Sheffy's entering the Ganon fight. Well, actually, no, it's still like 20 seconds. There's the nice cutscene where he turns into a bat and flies away. Yeah. But wouldn't it be worse if there was boots on validation chests? Wouldn't that just be even more insulting? Like, here's the item you want early in the seed at the very end. Just like imagine having this early where it would have been useful. All right, 139.10 starting the GAN fight. Yeah. Yep. And with this setup, it's going to be a very quick one-on-one for its first two stages. Just taking those extra hits in there to guarantee. Because at this point, once you're past stage 2, doesn't really matter how much health you have left, so long as you're still alive. The final two stages of GAN are actually a lot easier to avoid damage in. So that's hit number 3. It's going to be teleport. Because Ganon's, the first time you fight Ganon, seed is always the same number of teleports. Only getting one hit off before, but getting, oh, and missing the quick kill. But still going to be a pretty quick fight. 3 hits down. Gonna wait till it comes down. Alright, and the pig is dead. Just waiting for that bridge cross. Alright, and Sheffy has finished in 5th place with a time of 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 44 seconds. Get your GGs in chat. All right, we had 2 more finishes that time. 4th place was Hour 38.13 by Joss. Great Anti-Bob took 6th place with 141.42. So we only have 2 people left in the race. It's all good, High Ruler. Thanks so much for doing the tracking, because I lost track of where things were all the time myself. And don't know if we're going to get Sheffy in for interview. All right, I'm not seeing. Trying to see if we're okay. I don't think we're going to get anyone in for commentary. Let me check to see if Sheffy wants to. But if not, GG's to the runners. Want to thank High Ruler for doing the tracking. Oh, looks like we're having some. We might be getting Sheffy in here. Let's see.